Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend Tempest. Alright, so we have a real navy now. We have to try to do something about green. Green is going to win the game if we don't stop him. I like to couch it that way because it makes it sound like I'm doing something noble. Green's going to destroy everything unless we stop him. This is a big heroic action we're about to undertake. It is certainly not 100% selfish. Okay, we have a real dust income now. We're getting some okay incomes on other stuff. 2.3 per turn. I do wish that there was a way to build ships. Like maybe there could be a weaker version of the Adamantian Palladian tier that didn't require both resources, because we are way bottlenecked on that. But I guess we could just be using the extra Palladian on troops, and I don't know. Do we need a ground army? How much do we need a ground army? Anyway, let's focus here. So we got Army Plus. How far are we off of the next era? We're not that far, and at that point we'll be able to get Signal Corps and reintegrate that loose unit. So we need to finish Imperial Coinage, and then we need one more tech. I have not bothered to pick up Smelting Station. I really think that I know I've said this a number of times already, but I really think that one of the most interesting things about the oceans is the way that it causes you to reevaluate basically everything in the tech tree. The Tier 1 armor and weapon researches are much better than they used to be. The mining techs are way less important than they used to be if you can reasonably control the oceans. There's just all kinds of really cool stuff happening. I'm super excited about this. You know what? This whole game has been information focused. We're going to research Bathysphere next, just so that we can have the naval, the Bathysphere unit design, so that we can see what other kind of gear it can get. Let's get a good idea of our capabilities, so that next game we will be able to make much better decisions. Because that is what it's all about. We could win this game, and that would be cool, but it's way more important that we get better at the game. Think about how many games we could win in the future. That's a real low stakes way of looking at it, I guess, but it was my primary motivation. So our C units do seem to heal pretty quickly. I guess I shouldn't say that. Our Vors seem to heal pretty quickly. If you put them in a garrison for a turn, it heals them up almost completely, it seems like. I don't know that the other ships are going to regen health as quickly. Alright, I think we're going to commit all the way to making this guy a total badass boat unit. Right, we have that set already. Everybody's got things to do. Right, Mason's going to burn through a bunch of unit creation real quickly, and then we'll retrofit those guys if we need to. Actually, we need to. We'll retrofit the designs as soon as we're done, just so that I can do it all at once, because I'm profoundly lazy. I don't want to have to click any more times than absolutely necessary. So let's head out to Amael and see if we can conquer it. And that'll put up a nice wall. Green is still black spotted, by the way. I don't know if the other empires are taking advantage of this. Unfortunately, we just don't have the vision necessary to know that. And that's the thing I could be correcting with spies, actually. A thing I could and should be correcting with spies. Let's spend some of this incredible amount of dust I've accumulated. Okay, red took us back to Cold War. I assume that this is, pink doing the same thing. Alright. Let's have a look and see if we can maybe... Okay, it's not too expensive to get them back to peace. Wait, this is purple. I don't care about you. Let's see if we can get these guys back to peace. They're really, really large and right on our border. I would like to not have to fight them if possible. I actually do want to get some pearls, so let's not trade them pearls. We could trade them basically our whole stock of Palladian. That's an option. 160 titanium doesn't move the needle for them at all. They probably are completely past needing to use that stuff. All right, let's trade them most of our spare Palladium. Obviously, it will be as little as we have to. Okay, that was it. 78. I really do want it to be difficult for Pink to suddenly war us. Let's see if we can do it with Red too. Oh, Red's very agreeable. Let's just give him a little bit of dust for it. 500? 600? Something? 700. Jesus. Come on, green number. Our little green line. I can't think of a better way to do this, unfortunately. I could have just dialed it in. I was really expecting it to be south of 750. Is 800 good? Are we cool at 800? We are not cool at 800. Come on. There we go. Fine. Good enough. Alright, yeah, those two being our neighbors, I'm a little concerned about their ability to declare war on us, so let's be friends. So, there's a couple of ways we could get better vision. Number one, we could pick up Hospitality Den and get rolling on that. If we can make an alliance with another player, we get vision over all of their units and cities, and they get vision over all of ours. The other thing we could do is spy, and I think we should get a spy going, even if we intend to do some vision stuff through Alliance. It's still worthwhile to have some spies. Unfortunately, there's no Forgotten here. Forgotten are the only race that have spying 4, but we do have access to some roving clans who have spying 3. That's going to have to be good enough. Alright, so I have a land unit. Let's get this land unit out of the city and get vision over one of Pink's cities. There we go. We will implant our new spy. Oh, she has some unspent points. Now we'll just move you back and get you garrisoned again. Actually, go get pearls. Okay, yeah, we did this. Everybody likes the peace deals. So she has an unspent skill point, it looks like. We should definitely walk her up the middle tree. We're looking to get to Lord of the Trance here, which is a ridiculous name for a for a skill. I enjoy it very much. So one of the benefits of going up the middle tree to get to this is that we'll be able to walk her through plus XP. I believe that affects her and not just units that are under her control. Or maybe it only works when she's in an army. I actually don't know. I don't usually have opportunity to take it when they're not controlling an army, so I've not done any testing on that. Alright. I know we don't actually need the approval, but the plus 10% dust and plus 10% food for having high approval seems like a perfectly reasonable thing here. Actually, we might want to move over to science. I don't know why we don't have this. I should have researched topography long ago. I was so busy trying to get all kinds of fancy new stuff. We should have topography because we should have a center for mineralogy, which will boost the science output of our citizens, and we should redevote this city to science. So, I don't know if we want to queue that up now. Is that better than any of the things we could get here? You know what? Actually, yes, it is. We need to accelerate our rate of science income anyway, so... Alright, Tempest is getting us paid, even more paid. The thing is, we could buy out a lot of stuff in our cities, but we don't really need to. We should definitely be buying Dust Orchid. So one of the advantages of being stuck on 3 cities, and not like it was the plan or anything, but one of the advantages is that luxury boosters are actually very cheap to run. So we're okay on gold. We have our own gold thing running. We should definitely be running Moonleaf. Let's run some Moonleaf. We don't need to run Pixie Blood. Do we have spices running? Yeah, we're fine on spices. Titan Bones. Titan Bones could be happening. And do we need any of this other stuff? Nothing else here actually that actually does anything has enough capacity for us to buy. I'm going to buy enough Moonleaf to go again after this, though. Just in case all of a sudden the AI realizes we're buying it and there's a run on it. So we definitely want Moonleaf running, plus 50% science. Go ahead and get this running, plus 50% industry. And this is plus 20% everything. And our approval value right now is like 160. Oh, purple got et. Do we have any idea where purple's territory was? I don't think we've seen any purple land. I have a much smaller amount of the map visible than I ordinarily would. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think I've been playing all that well this game. I've been very distracted by lots of shiny new things. I'm way more concerned with seeing what happens when we prod things in various ways than I am with playing the game in a sensible fashion. Alright. So we have all this dust. What could we usefully do with it? We could buy more navy. Like, these aren't retrofittable, but just having boats is valuable. We're gonna take over the ocean. Let's buy a bunch of ships. Everything should be purchased in Tempest, right? Actually, we can drop stuff off on our sea fortresses, huh? That seems like a fine place to do it. Yeah, so here we'll just straight up purchase a bunch of boats. Alright, and you can see this little icon down here means that you cannot retrofit. That's a bummer, but units that have no special gear or armor are actually still totally acceptable units, especially if you can get their level up. So, I bought these in kind of an odd fashion because I didn't realize this is where they all should have gone, right here. Yep, go get pearls. So we wanted to build some intensifiers, but honestly, maybe I'd be better off building out to here and dropping an intensifier on this. It won't actually function unless we have this mining tech, I'm pretty sure, but it's probably worth picking up. We need to up our rate of resource acquisition, especially if we want to be building armor out of our resources all the time. I normally only build weapons with strategics, and I let the armor just be whatever our highest tier of basic armor is. But it doesn't really seem to be a good option with ships. You really have to... Oh, we have Forgotten already. We probably... I know that she has good good boosts, but maybe we should swap her in for spying and have this one become a governor. She doesn't have any governing skills, though. She's a commander. Well, we have a second navy. Yeah, okay, here's what we're going to do. You get to be our spy. Allegra gets to be... Actually, we're going to have to wait a couple of turns to move Allegra, aren't we? But where is Boakie? She is the governor of Tempest. Okay, we'll buy a new governor for Tempest. Who is cool? Who's got sweet boosts? Industry boost 2, plus the fact that Wildwalkers have a good faction tree is pretty compelling. And the Seer's not bad because the Cultists have a great faction tree for governing. Dust Boost 1, Science Boost 3 is cool, Dust Boost 3 is good, and this is not... Broken Lords have a pretty good faction tree as well. Science Boost 3 with these guys is actually not that compelling. Even though I like all the science, the Vaulter's faction tree is just not very well suited to boosting your ability to govern. You know, I think it's going to be Andom. Let's get another cultist out here. So we're going to unassign you. Move Andom in. Let's do this, of course, and apply. And then actually, let's take a look at him real quick. We have some stuff unlocked. We have +1 industry per citizen devoted to industry, +1 food, +10 security. We haven't really been getting spied, but that's mostly luck at this point. We may want to go ahead and pick this up. They're a little expensive. We wouldn't be able to put them in all of our cities right away. Let's not do it for now because we're trying to use these resources for other stuff. I think I am going to put this on our spy, though. I so often don't bother to get Adamantian and Palladian armor tech that I'm not used to having these options. Again, things are going to change a lot. Okay, so we need another one of these guys to get out here and give me vision of another city. We can definitely get vision on this one. Yeah, and then I guess just go get this small amounts of pearls. Okay. I don't know what we intend to do with them yet. Pink is on as far as research goes. Pink is up here, so I'm not even really concerned about slowing down their science. If I was going to do that, I'd want to move into Blue's territory. We might honestly just steal vision from Pink to give us better vision of Blue so that we can move a spy over there. Because Blue and Green are my primary concerns. I guess Red is doing pretty well on science too. Green's winning though. You know what? Yeah, well, let's deal with Green on the ocean first. Okay, so gonna keep merging these guys up. The lightning will move on to this space at the beginning of next turn, but it doesn't do anything unless you end your turn in it. Okay, I did do this, I just didn't dismiss the pop-up. You guys... Which of these is more valuable? Well, this one is currently controlled by Green. So let's hit this one. That's how I'm deciding. Yeah, this thing is not healing very quickly. Oh well. I'm gonna wait for these artillery ships to catch up before I move this navy forward. Get those output bonuses. We really don't need you on this anymore. Alright, we're about to be able to build our own bathyspheres. How much do I want these pearls? Do I want these pearls enough to veer off? I think these guys are going to go get pearls. That's another thing that purchased armies, mercenary armies, can do for you, is they can at the very least just go gather pearls. Okay, so we have Dustwater, but we have no Mithrite or Hyperium in our natural borders, so the facilities that give access to that stuff on the ocean are of very high priority. Okay, everybody needs new stuff to build. You probably have to build out here. And we need, yeah, we actually need a significant number of pearls because we really do want to build that. So we need, it takes 10 pearls to build each one of those. You can come back and get this. Man, this music is so good. Sorry, I know I stopped talking completely there and dead air, broadcaster, etc. But I stopped talking because I wanted to listen to the music. It's really good. Yeah, let's go ahead and build out this city a little bit. We could use, we could build out to here and get a couple more ocean tiles, which are great for us. A couple more sea tiles, rather. Oh, that's true. I did not give Missan a new thing to build. I suppose I mean, it makes sense to build a dust filtration thing, even though it's just going to be +3 dust on the city. +3 dust is nice. And then, yeah, focus on that. Our approval levels are through the roof. So what is this facility? Okay, this is plus trade route income. That's pretty cool. I really like these facilities that don't just give resources. These are really interesting. Part of what I like about them so much is that they're things that have a dramatically different value to different players, which, in my experience, as a person who plays like a lot of board games and stuff, that stuff leads to really interesting play where you have to sometimes take a move that's not optimal for you because of the value that it would have to another player. Look at that. Plus, this has 14 extra industry that we get from taking this. In case you weren't aware, a functional cargo dock adds so much industry to exploited sea tiles within that city. It's really bananas. We actually, we might even want to build up onto the North Shore with this city, just so that we could pick up more sea tiles. Cargo docks are super powerful. Yes, let's head toward the one that Green owns to deprive him of its bounty as quickly as possible. Yeah, you do the thing that I want you to do. Do we have open borders? Alright, they're not taking these pearls. I want them. Yeah, go ahead and get in the water. It's also really nice that the free embark and free disembark thing that our race has extends to all units we control, not just units that are of our race. Then I guess come back to Misan and re-garrison. I don't know that we actually want him. I don't know that there's a lot of benefit to him just running around all over the place. Wow, he's really, really fortifying this sea region. He expects trouble. It really is a shame that we can't figure out how effective our black spot is being. Okay, I think this turn is the turn that Allegra should be available. Or it might have been last turn. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, they want those pearls. That's fine, you can have them. So he has 6 boats here. All boarding vessels. All high level, but some of them not even upgraded. He's very reliant on levels. You know what? I'm willing to fight you. I am confident that we can take you now. Let's do this. An actual pitched naval battle against another player. We do this first. Plus 20% defense on units, and then we can start merging additional ships into the groupings. Alright, so let's try to get grouped up before any kind of combat can occur. Yeah, this is my plan. We're going to be mashing the heck out of that follow your assigned orders button here. And it looks like green has, you can see a little green cast on the tiles at the strategic level. The developers might want to change that, I don't know, because I don't know if we're intended to have that information here. Like, it's not obvious if you're playing the game at this level of map zoom, so I wonder if they want us to know that. But we can, for now, we can see that this is green and this is red, even though we can't actually see those tiles. We only know about them because once you start pacifying fortresses in a region through quests, you start to get vision of the other fortresses. I don't know, it feels a little exploity is my only concern. Okay, so I'm going to hit this ruin too. As long as Pink is cool with us being in his territory, we're going to... Honestly, us taking those pearls might be all it takes for him to kick us out. Alright, so we'll get Geomic Labs, and then I guess keep expanding this city, right? There's no good reason not to. We'll build a... we'll start expanding this way in the hopes of being able to build a strategic intensifier. And we'll get a luxury intensifier for that eventually. We are not made of pearls, though. And remember, the research for the new district types costs 20 pearls for each one, so we have to be a little bit careful with our spending. Come on, guys, go. Group up. I want to fight him at full density. Maximum boat density. Ah, they bought it off with influence. That is a thing that they can do. Okay, black spot nullification. And we've been market banned. Well, I'm glad that we got a lot of value out of the market before that happened. And Pink is boasting about how they're great. Our guy is infiltrating. And it's time to fight this naval battle. And let's build this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing. Actually, let's buy that out. Let's just get that done. And that. It's important to get that running. We need to really dramatically up our rate of resource acquisition. Okay. Yep, this is the order I would like the reinforcements to come in. So these mercenary units that we bought off the marketplace, I expect to have some real problems. She needs to be back here. She has a ranged attack, so she is still doing something as a commander. I really intend her to be more of a ground commander. Let me take care of this other stuff. I actually like to... I'd prefer to get most of the rest of the turn resolved before doing the battle. So let's hit up these ruins. Bummer. I'm not going to take those pearls because Pink can see those pearls, and I'm concerned that they might get mad at us. Okay, now let's do the battle. Alright. So I intend her mostly to be a ground commander, like I was saying, but she lends some benefit here. Her capacities still affect the rest of the army, and also, you know, she has a range attack. She can just plink away a little bit. So actually, maybe I want to do something like this, make it a little bit more of a wall, make our guys a little harder to get past. Because the longer she stays alive, the longer she can just keep bombarding. You should move to here and then shoot at whatever. We got to make sure that our heroes, or that the people on the reinforcement spots move before attacking. Look at this. Ridiculous. Those ships are so good. Oh, I thought he was in range there. Was he not? 1, 2, 3? I thought his range was 3. He moved, but he didn't fire. That might be... It might be that his range is only 2. Am I misremembering? Yeah, spray acid on him. The range says 3. It might have been a small bug. I know that the developers have been continuing to work, have been continuing to bug fix and stuff. So I'm sure that if there really is a bug there, they've probably already fixed it, and it will be in the patch, the build that is released on release day. God, artillery ships are so great. Yeah, and our hero's actually like a really good unit now. Poor Allegra Mordecant is dead. So that was interesting. Did you see that? Their boarding vessel stunned our bathysphere, but the bathysphere still dealt damage. When land units stun each other, the stun occurs before the counterattack usually. So it might be that things work a little different on the sea. If so, I'm a huge fan of that. I hate the fact that stunning someone prevents them from even getting the immediate counterattack. That's my least favorite thing about stun. So if they decided to change that, I'm super in favor of that decision. Not that they necessarily care what my opinion is. I designed a game or two, right? That makes me a professional with a meaningful opinion. Even if nobody but me ever played those games. Alright, let's I'm very pleased with the way that battle went. We will figure this out. Oh, armies weren't regenerating because armies don't regenerate right now. Everything's fine. And they've done it. The monsters, they've gone and done it. Alright, well, we're going to black spot them again. How expensive is it? I assume that there's an increased application cost from the fact that they just canceled it. Yeah, 232, harsh. That's okay, I'm fine. When we get, we'll give it a turn to lower. When we're actually adjacent to them is when we'll drop it, and then we'll start attacking. Because they are not allowed to have this sea region. This is my sea region. I guess if you must cut through pink lands, if it's really that much more efficient. I'm sure he's going to be annoyed about it. Yeah, we can go ahead and build our city in any goofy shape we want right now because our approval rating is so artificially raised. I guess it's not even really artificially raised at this point. It just is that high because of all the central markets and everything. Leveling up intensifiers is useful. They get a lot of extra resource. Not the resource they're mining, but strategic intensifiers get a lot of extra science when you level them, and luxury intensifiers get a lot of extra dust. So actually I think we're going to try to build around this thing. And I'm also going to build here so as to get these 3 sea tiles. I'm going to start by building there. I don't know that we need to rush that, because are we going to be able to build another district afterward? I don't think we are until we have another citizen born, so there's no point in finishing this before that. Tychest has things to build. You should probably pick up Geomic Labs in most games a lot earlier than I have here. It's a really good building. This is our cargo dock. It doesn't really have an effect on the shape of our city. I guess if we build here, this will level this one up to level 2 immediately. If we just if we just build an intensifier here, it'll have the same effect though. Yeah, but I do still want to keep building boroughs. It's not like I should stop. Let's build here, because this way I can build here, pick up another sea tile, and that'll level up the city center with the titanium extractor in it. That's the only combination of tiles. We have to build both of these spaces if we want to level up the city center. Leveling up the city center doesn't have any additional benefits beyond what you get from leveling up just a random district. It's not like I need to upgrade that district more than any other. I just want to level as many of my districts as possible. Alright, looks like they only have a couple of ships in the garrisons. They probably were sending that big fleet of 6 was coming to reinforce this area more than to attack us. Okay, so we have 598. I really wish I could see what our Empire approval is actually at. Because the fact that we're at Fervent, I don't know if we're at 101% or 130% right now. And if we're only at 101%, you know, if we're less than 25 points above Fervent, then I really want to take the Empire plan that continues to give us 25 approval. I think we're probably okay. I can do this, and we should probably be focusing on military stuff right now. Maybe this? No, I don't want to build out that far. Let's try this. Plus 30% attack, and we still get the science increase and the building cost reduction. Do I want to maybe pull something like that? Yeah, this gives us some options, and plus 2 vision is... Our units don't need plus 2 vision, but with plus 2 vision, we have truly impressive vision radius. Let's just put these guys away. We should fix their design and retrofit them just so that the AI views our army strength as being high. Unfortunately, I don't know that we'll be afford to retrofit everybody right away. Alright, let's pick up some new armor. I think we are just going to go with the dust armor on these guys, because I don't want to pay resources. We do want to use a real weapon, though. What's the comparison here? Like, let's say... Do I want them to have Infantry Slayer or Cavalry Slayer? We're next to a Draken player, so he's more likely to have more infantry units. If I wanted to do this, we're looking at 44 attack, 38 damage. You know, honestly, I think we're going to do this. We're going to give him slightly out-of-date weapons. The stat differential isn't so bad. It's a lot less attack, but it's not actually a very different damage number. And this should be good enough to at least make us look strong. And then do I want to throw... Let's throw improved life on them and also regen. Yeah, that's fine. So how expensive is that retrofit going to be? This way we can make our units relatively impressive-ish without having to spend any of our current era strategics, which is something I really do not want to do. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is this not built? How do I not have a plated... Right, because I don't actually have mining tech. That's why. we have to get that going. Otherwise, these intensifiers that I've built are not actually doing anything. I had a whole... At one point, I did have the entire plan in my head at the same time. But it's very easy for me to let things slip away while I'm trying to expound on my future plans. Oh, we have a Vor in this army who isn't retrofitted. The Vors have a trait that makes them retrofittable anywhere. That's why we can do that. Ooh, 8 ships at this garrison? Okay. That's maybe a thing that has to wait. Ooh, look at this. Check that out. Cat's paw. We may want to lead the charge with these guys. Let's actually, let's move to here but not attack. I can lead the charge with these guys without even declaring the black spot. Because we are out of influence right now. If I lead the charge with these guys and actually manage to knock them out of the fortress, then they'll lose control of the sea region and it'll all turn to neutral ground, and then we'll be able to claim this from the neutrals and then claim this. So we're going to try that. Otherwise we have to wait a couple of turns to be able to afford our black spot. Has the price gone down a bit? I assume it has, since it's been a couple of turns since it fell off. Yeah, you should be leery. It has not gone down very much. It's taken a while to fall. So yeah, we'll have to wait like 4 turns if we can't figure out some nonsense here. If we move We don't have privateer tech, right? Oh, we do have access to this. Okay. So, I don't usually use this, but this is actually a really good opportunity for it. And the fact that I don't usually use it is not an indictment of the tech. I don't know how to use it well, is what I'm trying to say. If we move Allegra Mordicant out of, and the Vor out of this army, it'll be entirely composed of mercenaries. We can convert it to a privateer army, and it can attack places as though it is a neutral army. Let's see first if this cat's paw army can maybe make a dent in this fortress. And actually, after we pick up all this stuff, I do want to get Advanced Harvester because we have Dust Orchid in our land territories. Oh. They abandoned the fortress? What a terrible move! Get Cat's Paw, nerd. And it'll assign it directly to us, which is a little bit of a giveaway. It probably should convert it to neutral, and then we could attack it. But okay, whatever. Alright. So we're at level 3. Let's deal with this spy real quick. Oh! Territory is turning blue. Well, that's interesting. That changes the tenor of things a little bit. I haven't been paying attention to the land too much. First of all, the fact that territory is turning blue is kind of crazy because blue can't declare war. So that means pink declared war on blue, and then things turned on them very sharply. So actually, we might want to turn on pink as well and try to steal a city or two. We don't even necessarily need them to connect to our empire contiguously on land. If blue gets this, which looks like they're certainly going to try, but we get this, it's still connected to our empire via the sea region. We still get good trade routes out of it and everything. Yeah, that's really interesting. Let's launch the army of pretty okay Berdekis. You guys need to build a strategic intensifier. Don't worry, it will do something eventually. Yeah, we need to launch the Berdekis. We could probably move a bunch of our guys over to science at this point. We're producing dust much faster than we actually need it. So let's refocus our empire on science while I'm thinking about it. We probably want to make some more boats. Our navy's going to start taking a hit here. We're going to engage in actual combat. This is going to be an encounter for the ages. So I'm thinking we could reassign Allegra Mordicant over here and take our fast-moving cavalry army on the road and try to steal a pink city or two while blue has them distracted. But first, we have to deal with this nonsense. Okay, I think we should be able to beat these guys pretty thoroughly. The AI is playing as though they did not realize that was an orange army, I think is what's happening. I appreciate them playing along with the pretense. I think that our mercenaries are mostly going to die here. The artillery ship might survive. Yeah, make sure you attack that. You make sure you move. You can move to any space and continue to engage in combat because you're the greatest. Look at that. It's so cool. Okay, so yeah, the boat does get to fire back even if it gets stunned. That's neat. I like that. Alright, well, we definitely don't want to move into the lightning. I mean, you just move to here and figure out your target from there. So, you know, I don't actually know if there's a way to control the order in which your reinforcements arrive. If there is, we may want to switch things up so that the artillery ships aren't coming in first. Well, actually, you know what? As reinforcements, it is good for them to come in first. I just don't want them to come in first when we have a weak melee ship core as the main army. But it is good for them to come in first in a situation where our main army is actually going to hold. Alright, so the value of this cat's paw, I don't remember how expensive it was. It was like 40 influence or something like that. But the value that we've gotten out of it has been tremendous. Just absolutely huge. We're going to bring this guy up north. He's going to get to participate in this attack. Can a cat squad army explore ruins? I don't actually know. Alright. If I did this right now... Oh, it looks like we're not getting the option. Alright, let's do it. Oh, I should have attacked the facility. You can just take the facility when there's no units in it. And they don't have their action point. Right, I knew that. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, well, this is fine. Again, this is an army made mostly of mercenaries. Any damage we get here is good, and we should not be expecting this army to win naval fights by itself. I'm disappointed with myself for not thinking about the fact that we definitely didn't have our action point. Okay, let's do it like this. Unfortunately, we're pretty slow. These artillery ships don't have that initiative increase. The initiative increase is a big deal. A lot of the ship technology really makes a huge difference. This is very menacing. Yeah, get that fire ship. Get him. You guys should maybe move toward the corner. They have enough range that they'll still be able to participate in the fight. Even without the precision thing, they do have 4 range. So yeah, Allegra's getting bought back and getting transferred to land. Come on, finish him off. Okay, he'll burn to death at the beginning of his turn. Your next target is this guy. Okay. So yeah, this army is just trying to inflict as much damage as possible before its inevitable death, unfortunately. Anything we can do to weaken these guys before our real navy shows up is good. So for, another thing I really love about the game is the way that the different racial heroes have such clear roles, and like it can be really beneficial to make sure you're buying the right race from the marketplace. And the Morgar heroes are tremendous admirals. He dies at the beginning of the next time somebody attacks him before the attack even takes place, so it didn't really matter what orders he had. Okay, so we damaged one of their ships. We killed one of their ships and severely damaged a couple others. That's cool. God, the weather effects, everything about the art of the expansion is so good. Great work from Amplitude's artists. So do I want to attack the city myself? Let's buy back Allegra. Bonk. And then, I don't even know if she has real gear on. Let's assign her and find out. She doesn't. Okay, let's fix that. The 37 is a pretty good weapon, but we're a tier above it now, so let's see how it compares. We have 87 attack and 63 damage versus, let's say, a Palladian crossbow, 134 attack. Yeah, okay. Pretty straightforward then. This is the way to go. We can't afford to equip her with a ton of fancy armor. This one gives big initiative bonus. Not big, 15% is... Yeah, it's fairly big. So we want to do that. But I don't think we want to bother with the boots. What would the boots cost? The boots don't bring her above what we have. And then we're going to be unable to give her any of the really good strategic trinkets, which is unfortunate. Oh, she has army health boost naturally, so we don't need to give her army health boost. We do want to give her personal life and personal regeneration. And then, unfortunately, she doesn't really have a great option. We'd like to give her one of these would be cool, but we can't afford it right now, so we'll come back and do that. That moved the army backwards? Is that where that army was before? Oh, okay, we can see from the way the movement tracks that actually the army is still here. We're just having a little visual problem. Okay. Like I said, I know the devs have been working actively, so probably that bug is already fixed in the release build as well. Alright. They have They only have the same number of ships that we have, and I think our ships are better. So this should be a win. Yeah, you can see the Vor. All of our ships have actually healed to full. This guy's not quite full. I'm very confident about our ability to win this one. Thank you, Cat's Paw, for allowing us to attack these guys on their own turf without having to start a war or pay for a black spot. We do still want to pay for a black spot. We will be doing that soon. Alright, let's get him. Neutral waters. Don't you run from me. He's trying to get over to this army to attack that. That would be a way better place for him to start the fight, that's for sure. Alright, I don't think... This guy's probably not going to get to Cold Operator before winter hits, unfortunately. I think we want to move toward Cold Operator, so we're going to take the slightly bendy path here. Do I still want to go through No Idle Hands? No, I think we'll start up the tree as though we had not taken this. And, you know, this will just be a small benefit if we run into some unexplored ruins. But the extra point of movement is really valuable. Alright. Does everybody have stuff to build? No. A bunch of people don't have stuff to build. So... this city really has pretty good science output. I'm happy with the way things have combined with the governor and the thing here. This isn't... yeah, okay, no, it is level 2, that's right. So what are we gonna do here? This is 1 food, 7 industry. These are the same tile, basically. We could actually level this up by building here and grab 3 more sea tiles. It makes the city a funny shape, but it doesn't matter what shape our city is. So yeah, we'll build here and then here, I guess. And that'll be the 4 districts surrounding this. And that means we have this like weird little jutting out bit. But we have a ton of approval. And very few cities. A ton of approval and very little expansion disapproval. Let's create a couple more Bredekis. We're going to be able to... we have the improvement that allows us to go up to 8 units in an army now, so we should refill that army. Alright, let's do it. The game predicts a victory. I also predict that victory. They ran away, in fact. Run, little... oh no, he can't run. I used all his move already. Okay, well, he might be doomed. At this point... I guess we just keep boosting the stats. Just give him some more combat stats. We could take him to Cold Operator. Maybe that's what I should be doing. I should head through here, get weather immunity, and then get Cold Operator so that the army doesn't lose movement in the winter. Let's do that. Alright. So you guys... This is the moment, right? This is where we have to make a decision. Maybe not. Let's buy these out. Have them join up, and then we'll make the decision about whether or not we want to turn on pink and try to steal some regions. It's certainly beneficial to us if it works. If it doesn't work, then we're going to have to defend ourselves against an angry Draken army. We do have a spy in that city. We could drop its fortification completely, because our army actually doesn't have a great fortification damage value. Yeah, we're at 3. We're 6 turns off of 4. So we could drop the fortifications by half. We can also do a morale hit, lower their morale, which affects their attack and defense. I don't know. I can't imagine waiting 6 turns is a reasonable thing to do. So we're going to have to do one of these level 3 things. But we don't have to decide right this second. We have a turn or two before that decision has to be made. So let's finish these guys off. They're not going to be able to run away from us this time. Who leveled? Oh, cool. So in case you're not familiar with how this works, we have now doubled the seniority bonus on our hero. So basically, after he performs an operation in this city, he'll gain the ability to perform an operation again much more quickly than he ordinarily would. They did, in fact, run again. That's crazy. They're going to reclaim that. That's their plan. I wanted to see what they were doing. That's why I moved out of the way. Okay, well, we'll just take them. Right, so let's get these new Berdekis out here. How good can an army really be if it's not equipped with reasonably modern weapons? Let's find out. Right, come on, guys. Play nice. Virgin, there we go. Alright, yeah, only 39 fortification damage. I believe it is the case that cavalry units generally have pretty bad fortification damage values. Because first of all, that gives heavy infantry units more of a niche to play in, where they're the guys who break cities. And secondly, it makes it harder for you to just rampage across a country like the Mongol horde, just absorbing and burning everything in your path. Which is an important balance consideration, because otherwise cavalry troops would be just completely bananas. Although that's a little bit less the case in this game than it is in something like Civ, because in this game the uniqueness of the different troop types really matters a lot. In Civ, everybody has access to basically the same cavalry units, so there has to be some kind of balancing factor. Common friends are a good thing. Maybe be less likely to end up across battle lines. Yeah, here's the thing about that. I'm about to ruin everything you just said by attacking Pink. Alright, this should be pretty straightforward, but I wanna get in here and make sure that our armies, yeah, don't set up in a crazy fashion where the artillery ships are on the front line for no reason. "90% of the time, when I'm manually controlling a battle, all I do is fix the initial setup of the units and then kind of let them do whatever they want." Yep, like this. This is a great example of that. Those guys have some actual armor. 233 defense. That's impressive. These units have been upgraded a little bit more. That guy is on fire now, though, and his health is kind of low. Well, that wasn't really necessary, but thank you. Oh, God. The acid spray is so good. Those Vors are really great in ship-to-ship combat. I'm starting to really get a sense of the value of the different ships now, which a lot of this game has been about learning how the naval combat really works and getting a grasp on the naval combat paradigm and how the different ships contribute. And I can definitely see now how the Morgar can be very fierce out on the oceans. Okay, so that guy's gonna burn to death at the beginning of his turn. Okay. Good, we basically win. We took a lot of damage. These flame ships really inflict a lot of what's the word I want to use here? Like attrition damage. Fighting a flame ship is very similar to fighting a necrophage army, in that even if you win, it still bloodies your nose pretty badly. Okay, so we're gonna do this, aren't we? Well, their borders aren't closed to us. Let's ride in and take this ruin first. Yeah, Pink is coming up from this side. Pink is having to fight Blue on that front too now. Unfortunately, oof, that's a lot of Titan bones. Let's pop those. Ah, we dropped below 100. Okay. Without that social policy, we actually do need the wine, it looks like. Or I said social policy. Without that empire plan. You're never going to be able to completely disentangle any 4X game from Civilization. You know, it's the 800-pound gorilla. Shadow casts over everything. So I'm a little bummed about this. The way Pink's army is positioned makes it difficult for us to attack their city, because those guys will definitely get included. But if they're marching toward Blue, we might be able to delay. I'm not going to attack them this turn, basically, is what I'm saying. We might be able to delay one turn, have these guys move out of reinforcement range of the attack on the city. I could move over to here, by the way. I know we have a point of movement left, but I don't want to because these guys are right on the edge of my vision radius as it is. We're going to let them move. See if they get out of range, and then we'll turn on Pink and take this down. I know this isn't the friendliest thing we could possibly be doing. and red's gonna have some feelings about it. But this is worth doing. Opportunism is valuable. So let's see what they do here. I know we gotta worry about our ocean holdings and stuff, but one thing at a time. Okay, so the Guardian moved. Ah, but they moved a bunch more units in. Yeah. We'll there will be consequences to this nonsense. The ocean combat is really attention heavy. Like you have to be watching your unguarded fortresses and stuff a lot. Oh, that makes the region theirs again though. Can we get over here to? No, the turbulence is not. Doesn't help quite enough. Well, now I can afford to black spot them though, right? Let's just black spot them because we want the black spot to be on them anyway, not just for them. I'd like the other players to fight them. And the cost came way down. Awesome. Okay, so now we can just fight them with our actual army. Yeah, let's parlay. Okay. So this is cool. We are getting significant trade route income. It's not that good. We're getting okay trade route income. Oh, you know what? I wasn't thinking about it this whole time. We've had an extra simulation slot because we got one for free. Let's go... I think we're more likely to use Seritan in our actual army than Sisters. Well, I guess Sisters give us an infantry unit we can use to block for our ranged hero and to push through stuff. Actually, let's assimilate the Sisters of Mercy. Also, I don't know what quest they give you while they're assimilated because I don't usually do it, so that'll be interesting. Can we search ruins with these guys? We cannot. Okay, good to know. I could probably have guessed from the fact that they don't have the button. Oh no, we don't have the button when we're not near a ruin either. Okay. So let us claim this ocean region once and for all. Make it ours so that they can't attack it without declaring formal war. And then, it's interesting to see that there were still some minor faction boats this late into the game. I don't know where that minor faction fleet that we cat spot actually came from. I don't super well understand the spawning mechanics. 6 strategic resource facilities in our fleet now. If we were to take this, we'll get 2 more. We don't know what facilities this has. This will put us to 8, and then we have to break into Nathan to finish it off. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If we take Nathan and hold these 2, we will move our faction quest forward. I don't know how relevant that really is. The game may conclude before we can finish the faction quest anyway. Do we know what the reward for this step is? Oh, it unlocks those new... So this is worth doing, if only because knowing what these are will make us make better decisions next game. We also still have this quest from like way back to take control of this, or to take control of this. It's just not relevant to us. We can see that this is green territory though. Where is this? Oh, we knew that already. We knew that green has this sea region and probably the sea region to the south of it as well. Yeah, I'm really enamored with the naval gameplay. I have to say, you know, it could be in large part because of the novelty. So if we attack right now, we include that army. If we move to here first, I think we don't. Yeah, alright. We're turning on pink. This is actually probably going to be expensive influence-wise. Can we do that? We could black mark them. We could just do a normal war deck. Well, we can't black spot them, right? We'd have to go to Cold War first. But we could go to Cold War. I have a great idea. Let's go to Cold War and then talk to Blue. Oh, I can't offer to Cold War these guys. Can we get peace with you? I'd like to trade with you. Alright. Never mind. Yeah, we'll just war deck them. It's fine. I was gonna see if we could get if we could offer to Black Spot Pink, which Blue would probably like, and in exchange get stuff from Blue. But it looks like we may have had to not be at peace with them, like at the beginning of the turn or something, to prevent you from doing a backstab of too great proportion. Okay, is there anything else I need to do on my turn? No, we're good. Let's do this. Oh, I forgot to do the fortification thing. We'll just do the morale thing. Alright, let's fight them. And probably the morale thing will not actually take effect during this battle. That's just bad play on my part, me forgetting to do stuff. I don't make as much use of the espionage system as I probably could. It factors into it a lot. So their units are mostly not that impressive. You can see pretty low damage values, pretty low attack values. We have in the neighborhood of 82 defense. They have a lot of guys who have less attack than that, so we're going to be taking half damage or no damage pretty frequently. We have a fair amount of health, but this battle is not the outcome of this battle is far from guaranteed. So we have the initiative bonus, or the initiative. We can control the way their troops move. Let's try to get some good surrounds going. So you should attack here. You should attack here. You can move to here. You can move to here. You focus on that guy. You can get down to here. Alright, so we're locking up this edge of their formation already. Yeah, you just attack there. And that's real orders for everybody, right? Personal orders, yeah. Okay. So we lock up this side of their formation. We lock up these 4 units. That makes things a little bit inconvenient for this guy and this guy to get through. And we get a 3-unit surround on this guy and hit him with ranged attacks and just focus him down. He's the first real target. And we have big morale bonuses this turn due to starting in a block. They do too. But basically my point was our big morale bonus helps to counteract the fact that their troops have pretty high defense values. Yeah. This first turn we're getting a big damage push because we had so much attack. Because of all the morale bonuses. Oh, we can't attack there. There's a cliff. Well, that's an oversight. Yeah, and they're having to move around because of this cliff. It's going to be very awkward for them to actually conduct damage here. That's interesting that she chose to move forward, even though she's supposed to have 3 range. Is there a range dampening effect on the winter that I haven't noticed? That honestly could totally be what it is. Alright, at this point, they're all broken and out of position. I think it's hard to say exactly what the effect of assigning appropriate maneuvers was in that first turn. By the way, remember, their militia have Cavalry Slayer 4. Militia are really good at fighting cavalry units, so we are going to eat it a little bit on that. With our army being almost entirely cavalry. Oh, we left 2 points of fortification on that Sister of Mercy. That really sucks. So her fortification's going to eat 1 more whole attack. But yeah, I think that we are going to get this city. And what I was saying is, it's hard to estimate the exact effect of giving sensible orders to units. Move to here so that this guy has space to move to here. You should probably move this way while continuing to shoot. Actually, since she seems to only have 2 range right now, we maybe shouldn't move her. You can start moving on that guy, because you're not going to be able to get into battle against anyone else. But you saw we had a big advantage the first turn due to the way the morale system works with us starting in a big clump, and the fact that we had initiative so we could control the movement of the enemies. And the AI... the battle AI would not have commanded our units as well as I did, not to toot my own horn or anything. And I think it might have had a really big effect on the outcome of the entire battle. So it really is worth your time. I know it's tempting to just auto battle all the time and go, whatever, the units are going to do what they're going to do. I don't always get the orders I want out of the battle system anyway. But it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference to manually control your units. You should try to devote the time. It's worth it. Alright, so we're going to move him around, both because other units could use this space, and because, remember, we have charge abilities. We have a bigger chance to stun if we move, and we have better attack if we move. It's important to manually force your units to do good things. This is why the thing that I was just saying is true. Actually, we know this guy will be out of the way by then, so we can take his space. You have to hold Alt to order a unit to move into a space that's not currently open, in case you didn't know. Alright. It's a free city for us. Pretty cool. I think they built really far away from the ocean, which is awkward, but we'll live. There's a thing people say about beggars and choosers that definitely applies here. So we have to, I guess, consider whether it's worth it to keep the city in place or whether we'd rather burn it down and build our own city. I think it's got to be so developed that it's worth it to keep it where it is and just try to expand out toward the sea. They did build along the river. The river tiles are good for us. Yeah, we can expand this way, kind of like through the river toward the ocean. I know it would take a lot of burrows to actually get to the ocean. That probably won't happen. But we can at least get a lot of river tiles while we're working on it. Alright. At this point, we can just kind of let them go. They'll do what needs to be done from here. Did we didn't lose a unit, did we? Nope, I see 8 guys. The hero can finish this guy off even if we all get stuck. Dude has a lot of defense. All right, and that's a free city. I don't think Pink is going to come back at us because I think they're going to lose the game before they have the opportunity to do so. I guess we do have to worry about these units that are they're close to Settle 10 already. Okay, his city is way behind the times. He doesn't have a lot of the basics. Let's build all of this stuff, and then actually we can rush a bunch of this stuff. All right, and then Central Market, and let's see if we can wring a truce out of him right away. Actually, we only have 36 influence. Probably not. We probably can't afford the truce. We can. He doesn't want it. Okay. That's fine. We'll fight you. We'll fight you on the land and on the sea. Well, he's not going to fight us on the sea. You know, it's a thing people say. You know what I mean. Is there a better spot these guys could be standing in? We should stand here. And if we attack really early next turn, if we like mash this right away, we can kill these guys without them getting any reinforcements. Wow. They'll just run, I guess. Misan is pumping out troops to defend against the counter push as quickly as possible. And their army has busted morale. Our spy got reassigned as soon as the city fell. We should actually move this guy out and move that spy into Blue's Empire as quickly as possible so we can start building up. It takes 60. Okay, next turn we'll be able to do it. Influence is an actual a currency of some import with these guys. Alright, so we're just gonna mash right click here. Let's get this attack. They're gonna retreat, and that's whatever, we can't prevent it. Come on. Start the turn. They're gonna retreat, and that's okay. We still get to peel all of the hit points off of that unit. And then these guys need to move over here, and let's get ready for the counterattack. It's gonna be big. Okay, cool. We might be able to get some peace out of Blue then. Alright, let's get our spy moving in their empire. New quest added. A friend in need. Sisters of Mercy. Capture an enemy city in the region of your choice. We couldn't get this last turn? Minor tribes and villages have come begging to your allies, the Sisters of Mercy, as they fear the aggressive expansions of other empires in their region. Livestock have been stolen, and troublemakers have disappeared. The sisters ask you to protect at least one of those minor factions from bullying by their more powerful neighbors. Yeah, that's a shame. The reward's pretty small, but actually we could really use 120 influence. Well, maybe we'll be able to take one of Pink's other remaining regions before this war ends and get it that way. Also, yeah, keep the Hydromiel running, and on the Seer. Needs to start moving toward Cold Operator. This is going really well. We really needed a war. We needed to win a war. Alright, let's get that up. We don't have enough industry to buy it out, but I'm cool waiting 2 turns. Or enough dust left over to buy it out. But it's cool. And we have a little bit of turbulence here, which is nice. Help us move on green a little faster. And then we'll be in the rain. Oops, I moved us into rain. That doubles the, increases by 50% the army's cost, the army's upkeep cost. All this turbulence is really nice, though. This is very convenient. Alright, so there's a couple of green fire ships moving in on us as well. Whatever, that's fine. I don't care about that. We do need another artillery ship. This army should have 8 ships in it. What do I want you to do? I guess just start moving forward. Alright, let's resolve this. So they have a lot of dudes, but they don't have a hero or anything. And I don't know exactly what's going to come in as reinforcements, but I'm pretty confident we can handle this. I guess we do have a lot of guys who are injured, don't we? No, not really. You know, our health regen's pretty high. Okay, so let's take note of the positions of the cliffs, because it matters. There's cliffing here. There's cliffs here, but this space doesn't have one. You know what? It's fine. And we almost don't even... Oh, they didn't bring in any reinforcements either. They just totally consigned these guys to death. Alright, yeah, I actually really like what the AI has done here. This is what I was going to do, is immobilize these 2 with attacks and then focus on bringing these 2 down so that we don't have to worry about a flank. We can consolidate the entire enemy army in one group and then just surround and pick them apart. So, good job, AI. This is a really solid plan. I think I'm going to have our hero shoot at this guy, though, because we're not going to be able to move over here and get in range fast enough. So, let's... It's a good plan, but the AI is not executing it perfectly. Yeah, this... Okay, the rest of them can attack this guy. It's just good, solid strategy. We want to move as much as possible before attacking each time because of our charge abilities. So that's why that guy ran around instead of just attacking adjacent. Alright, good stuff. Good damage. This initial charge turn is really... The initial turn is really, really important to a cavalry army. The positions you end up in after charging matter a lot. I screwed up there. I didn't think about the fact that that guy was so late in the initiative order that his target wasn't going to be around. That's a little bit of bad play on my part. But seriously, it's really, really worth it to take your battles manually. At this point, they're so weakened and split up that, and we're so far away from them with a lot of our units that we can just kind of mash attack and be good enough. If you have the initiative bonus, if you have the initiative, you really do want to do this kind of thing where you eat up as many of the opponent's attacks as possible. If you hit them first, even if you have to spread out your damage to do so, obviously focusing fire is great when you can do it, but even if you have to split up your damage to do so, just denying the enemy decisions, hitting their units where you want to hit them instead of where they want to be hit is huge. Huge effect in your ability to win a battle. It's just like in chess. Sometimes you take a move that's maybe a little awkward because it forces the opponent to make another move to counter. If you're playing both sides of the battle, it's going to be very difficult for you to lose. That's basically the idea. Oh, we're 15 minutes past an hour already. I'm having so much fun that I'm not keeping track of time at all. Okay, well, I think this is actually an okay stopping point. We've broken Green's hold on the oceans. We're starting to make some real progress there. We've taken a region. We may be able to steal another region or two. This region does still connect to our ocean, so we will still be able to make trade through this sea region. Yeah, this is our next land goal. We have to clean up Pink's armies a little bit, and hopefully we'll be able to claim this sea region. I think we will, and that's going to screw up Green's ability to hold this sea region. Basically, everything is coming up Morgar right now. I'm very excited about where we're going to go in the next episodes. So come back next time. I don't know if there will be episodes over the weekend. Probably there will be. I'm having way too much fun playing to wait until Monday. And we'll see you guys then.